Hey everybody, and welcome to this episode. Today I want to talk about how YouTube, LinkedIn, and New York Times have something in common and how it is actually really smart on how to monetize their big audience. So Mark, are you ready for this?
Hell yeah, my boy. Let's do this.
All right, Mark, what is the New York Times actually known for?
Well, the articles, their newspaper,
Okay, awesome. And now tell me, what is YouTube known for?
videos, funny videos. Well, actually videos, but yeah.
So in general, the biggest content library probably in the world, maybe besides all the porn stuff. Anyways, and LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn, Mark, what is LinkedIn known for?
Annoying DMs.
That is kind of true. Just like, hey, let me add you to your network. It's like, yeah, let me just. Who are you? I'm just like, I'm gonna offer you my services. I'm like, I'm not looking for anybody. Thank you though.
I mean, to be fair, we have done the same thing when we were raising money for
sure.
our startup. We're like, hello, add me to your friends, my friend. Yes, I don't know you, but you should know me, and I bring great value to you. So yes, that was definitely us.
Definitely we did different, but yeah, I definitely get your point. Okay. All right, Mark. So I think the last thing that would come in mind is actually gaming. Okay. So for example, if you look at, for example, YouTube, yes, you get it, gaming, it's streaming, etc. But what if I tell you that the New York Times revenue, most of it comes to actually gaming? What would you say? Like crazy? Or is it
This bitch be lying. That's what I
right?
would think.
I mean, imagine. So New York Times in Q3, their revenue was 410 million, 418 million, and it increased by nearly 10%. Now,
To the quarter or year over year? To the quarter.
I think quarter over quarter. Also, what do you guess is the roughly the estimate of how much of it comes from the digital products? So that means they have a bundle. So I can tell you also about the bundle.
All right,
Yeah.
I have to ask first. Digital products that also includes the digital copy of their newspaper.
So yes, well, it is more like a bundle, like news, cooking, gaming. So it's like a bundle. So you can buy it basically for $1 per week.
Well, at this point, I think probably more than 60%.
Games. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. 60% you're saying? Ooh, that's actually really good guess. I mean, we don't do public math, but it's 282 million out of 418 million.
Oh, that's
so
pretty good.
It's 65%, something like this, which are crazy numbers for me. I'm like, holy cow. So I think it's almost 70%. But yeah.
Actually, I'm more surprised that the rest of it is not digital. Think about it. The rest they sell with regular print or
well, I think this is with digital, they mean basically games, cooking, etc. So
they don't mean the actual print. They don't mean the New
yeah.
York Times online subscription. Okay, because that'd be weird if like 35% is still physical.
Just imagine it's like, oh yeah, let me like think about it. Their main business is normally news, and now like, oh yeah, I mean, I'm playing puzzle games with my kids.
But if we think about it, the New York crossword puzzle is very famous. At least it used to be, especially in the older generations. So now for people that can do it online and they get the access subscription, I'm sure they'll get the bundle. Like, yeah, for €1 more, I get games. I can do the crossword puzzle. That's cool.
And I mean, it's pretty smart because they had that lying around. So they had like a huge library of crossword puzzles over the, let's say, decades that they've collected, and now can they just reuse it? Also with cooking, right? They started a cooking app, and then like everybody's like, "Why is it not already enough?" Yes, it's cooking. So you get from subscription, games, cooking, and they had like huge library of like recipes, and they could just offer it, which is I think really cool.
That is super interesting.
But yeah, so the next thing is, all right, Mark. So we talk now about New York Times. So basically, it's a gaming company, right? I mean, makes most of it from crossword puzzles, cooking. Anyways, now the next one that we see. So like just to show the bigger overview. Now, I mean, YouTube is known for yes, let's watch somebody live stream games, or you watch a tutorial on something, which I probably do way more often than I would like to admit.
Yeah, also vlogs, everything YouTube, any kind of YouTube content, Mr. Beast. I mean, this guy has 200 something million followers. Cinema.
And now if for example, streaming, whatever, and now you can just play mini games in your YouTube app, which is like
the fuck?
Same on Netflix. So Netflix, you also have a game library. Right. So on YouTube, you have all these streams, of course, and now you can play mini games. You just open the YouTube and you can just start playing mini games. And it feels like it's like a pattern, right? So you see, first of all, yes, YouTube playable, that's what it's called. Then you see New York Times, which is out of nowhere, just like a huge gaming company, basically, with the crosswords puzzles, etc. And now, recently, a new announcement from LinkedIn. You know, our good old friend LinkedIn, where you always get the good notifications. They
Oh boy.
releasing now LinkedIn Games. LinkedIn Games. I mean, it's not like really sick games. You know, just like I mean, Mark, you played it. Give me some feedback
Oh
on that
my
one.
god. So first of all, I found only 3 games. I found one that you basically have to find the category, fit the category, which they give you. Well, first it's just literally just one word as an as a hint, then the second, third,
Yeah,
fourth, fifth. I don't know. Didn't like the game at all. Second either. The third one was not that bad. So basically, it's like think about it as a simpler version of Sudoku. A little bit
yeah,
different, not with numbers, but you have different shapes and colors in a square, and then you have to put down queens, and the queen can only be in one row, can only be one queen, and it needs to be
yeah,
also in all colors. Anyways, that was kind of cool, interesting, but I wouldn't say they're fucking great games, to be honest. They're
yeah.
just
It's for me, it's just crazy to, but there's always, but that means there's opportunity, right? Always when there's something is not doing well, it has always opportunity. The main reason why all these platforms are doing this, that's why also I think like it's really, really cool to see. They have a huge audience, and now they're all about optimizing that people spend more and more time in there, right? So for example, you might even call them maybe already super apps, right? So we know this from WeChat where we have multiple functionalities. And that keeps them locked in. All right. For example, now YouTube, you know, for streaming or watching, but now you can maybe play playables like small games. Then Netflix,
honestly,
normally for streaming, also for games now.
I didn't find the fucking games on YouTube, to
Yeah,
be
it's
honest.
only on the mobile app, accessible, I think, in the United States and some other
Ah,
countries.
okay.
So
Because I
it's
was
not
like, I'm not
all.
even finding that. I was like,
Yeah.
whatever they
Oh, but
do
it's
in the
there.
UX is not great to not find
Yeah.
it.
I think
And
it's
Netflix,
still
I've seen.
testing.
Netflix, I've seen
Yeah.
actually the games are kind of cool. Like
Yeah.
for Netflix, I mean, but
Yeah.
yeah,
And
I was
then
surprised.
LinkedIn, of course, I mean, but it's also a great opportunity, right? Imagine you have, well, so many billion, over a billion users, and you want to spend more time there as a game developer, man, just copy a game that exists on a different platform, just put it into LinkedIn, and then you might even get acquired by LinkedIn because they want to try to push it, right? So it is a great opportunity there.
Well, yeah, I don't know how it works. Have you seen or read anything how they advertise it? Like how to develop
Mm,
it?
I'm pretty sure they have LinkedIn developer portal where you can just develop it there. But as for me, just think about it. Facebook games came out how many years ago? 15, 20? I'm not sure. A long time ago. Well,
No,
15 at
20 not
least.
because
Nah, 15.
27.
15 or 10 years ago. 10,
Yeah.
something like 10 years ago. Now all the other platforms are doing the same, which I think is like really, really cool. At the
Are
same time,
we
it's like, man,
are we gonna see Farmville on LinkedIn? Because that's
yeah.
the question. Is this
Welcome to the
going to happen?
future, old man.
Where it's professional to show off that you're actually playing
uh,
a game. Let's fucking go.
And now, all right, so this is really, really cool. And I think it's like interesting to see how it all works out. But it also brings me to the next point, which I didn't mention, is Discord. Okay. Because I've seen the other day on Twitter a
Yes.
post where somebody just said, hey, you can just build your own server games. Meaning, for those people who don't know what Discord is basically a forum where you can create your own server with like multiple chat rooms and people can text even get voice, like just talk with each other. It's like really, really cool. It's like the modern version of a forum. Super, super nice. Exploded through in COVID. Before it was just like mainly focused on gamers.
Well, and now actually, Lucas, I just read the other day an announcement by Discord. Because during COVID, etc., it actually got also into other categories, etc., and was used by more and more different kind of categories, and
Yeah.
especially also NFTs. But NFTs, they kind of burned themselves because it was a little bit scammy.
Yeah.
Even though they developed a little bit of ads for that and
Man,
like
we've been
add-ons
in
for
the
that.
field and hell yeah, it was
Oh yeah.
scammy
Oh,
as
not
fuck.
not a cool thing to be in, to be honest. But my point is that they now announced that they want to go back to their core feature, which are gaming. So
Yeah.
they want to focus on gamers and all the needs around it. So thereby it makes sense that they also have these mini games in there.
So it's very, really cool. So what the guy did, which I thought was really, really cool. Basically, you can build, drag and drop like cool games, all right? So let me just, maybe, I'm not sure whether I can share my screen, but basically you can build a 3D world. Just wait 1 second. Let me share my screen. Here we go. Screen. Da-da-da-da-da. Here we go. So as you can see here, you can just like build like your own little game, and I think it has over 10,000 users already, which is like developers, 10,000 developers who are building like little games.
And then you jump in there with regular physics, or what's in there?
Yeah, so it's a like it has a normal engine in it, and you
What
don't
kind
have to
of
download anything. I'm not sure what exactly it is, but I think it's really really cool. I mean, I saw games where people built like what is it called, Mega Man, so a Mega Man version,
nice?
and like I think
Like
it's really big.
3D, or is it a
No,
2D?
it's 2D. That was 2D. Mega Man was like
Okay.
on 2D, which I thought was very, very fascinating. I mean, because in the end, I think they can't be too big, just like from
Yeah.
logic point of view, if you think about it. Otherwise, you have to download stuff, which, yeah, there can't be just a
Well,
few
you
MB.
cache it at least, right?
Yeah.
Depends on your browser, and
Yeah.
then it might slow you down.
Well,
Well,
Discord
or you
is
have the
a
app.
desktop app. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So,
you have to cache it somewhere, right?
yeah. But I think it's really, really cool to see that more and more enable like to keep the users that have huge user bases, and now they're trying to keep it all inside, right? They're like, all right, what can we do so they don't want to open something else, right? Like back in the day, people just like had to compete with one thing. Now they have to compete with so many other things, and once you lose your attention, it's very, very hard to get it back. And now, when you, for example, just open Discord, they don't want you to leave, or LinkedIn, etc. If you're at work, I'm not sure whether
Well,
it's so smart, because when people, if you have games on LinkedIn, just think about it. LinkedIn is professional. Imagine just people spending all day.
well, I think honestly, yes and no. I think there might be also some pressure from there. Look, these are companies that are definitely mature already. Okay, so going into that direction, they have to. Well, they have their fiduciary duties to their investors, and obviously, one of those main criteria also is time spent in app, and then also the ability to show ads within that time. So by
Agree.
optimizing that, they're definitely making it better for them. Also, they know if they have developers on their platform, they're more likely to stay there and make it sticky, because crowdsourcing additional features has always been a great, well,
Yeah.
more recently it's become more and more popular again, but it's always great because then you don't have to focus. You can keep focusing on your main goal while the other ones add additional cool add-ons that you can acquire later on or not.
Agree. All right, Mark, before we wrap this up, quick, guys, if you really like this podcast, let us know in the comments what you think. If you want to have any topics that you want to talk about, let us know. Would love to know about it.
So I think that because of the fiduciary duties in general, and optimizing the time spent in app is always a great thing to do for these kind of companies. And also, if you think about, okay, I want to differentiate here again between New York Times, LinkedIn, and Discord. For example, I think New York Times is definitely doing it because their main revenue source is decreasing, like regular reading the news, etc. It's dying. Not even print, just news in general. I think it's too long form. Like New York Times is famous for the long form. There might still be people to read it, but they have to go into the new generation. They have to reach it, because otherwise, literally, their clients are dying out, right? The older generations, etc. So they need to get them early, and I think that's why also games are great. Well, not these kind of games, I guess, because course words, etc. are for the older generation as well. But
Well,
they
you
can
can play
also
with the
venture
kid together, right? You can play with the kid.
Yeah, but I mean, New York Times crossword puzzles, I think they're
Yeah.
pretty hard. Not something that you would do with a 6-year-old kid.
Hey,
And
they
then
have other
Discord.
games. They have other
That's true.
games.
But Discord, on the other hand, I think it's obviously the target group, the demographic is completely opposite. You have super young people. So on their side, it's fucking fantastic since they're focusing on their niche. They're just going super, super hard again on gaming and making that even better for the experience. So I think that's fucking fantastic. On LinkedIn, I don't know. It's a little bit, I guess, if people surf too much on there, or you wait, you give them something to
Man,
do. I
I
don't.
think it's fascinating for me. It's just like I feel like it's with fashion, right? So like the 80s, and whatever the fashion was worn in the 80s, they come back. And the same with like business ideas, you know? Like Facebook had the Facebook
You know,
had the game platform, and now, you know, LinkedIn is building its own.
Honestly, you know what? I know why LinkedIn is doing this. LinkedIn wants to do a fucking solid for all those people that work at home and they just want to do like, oh yeah, this guy is on LinkedIn, you know, like how computers track you doing something. You're like, yeah, I've
For
been on
headhunters.
LinkedIn.
For
Exactly.
headhunters
No,
or
in
other
general,
jobs, sales.
in general, like, hey, yeah, I've been on LinkedIn 6 hours. This guy was on LinkedIn all day, bro. They didn't tell what you were doing there, right? Instead of putting the fucking
You need
deodorant on
premium.
your space bar, you're fucking doing that. Let's go.
Imagine you only have a few tries and then you need premium. So people don't buy it for the premium feature on LinkedIn for searching, but just for gaming.
Why not? Huh? Imagine just like, and then it's like there's like a next they implement like Netflix in there. Like you can watch Netflix and like, yeah, I've been busy on LinkedIn. Don't worry.
Oh, wow, this is pretty. All right, Mike. So, do you have any other idea how, for example, now with AI coming more and more into play, what do you think will be the impact in all of this? Like, do you think, like, for example, okay, on puzzle generation, easy, right? So you can see more and more games there. But do you think there's anything else that would just have impact on the business models, etc.? And that's why they're doing this.
Well, okay, so I think New York Times, obviously writing, etc. AI has a massive impact as AI LLMs, large language models. They're super hard in terms of they can write a lot nowadays. They can also read a lot. They can give summaries, so they can use AI to write or create snippets for other people to consume the news that they're writing. I think is super cool. So they can automate a lot. They can probably cut down on their costs a lot, I'm guessing. Then LinkedIn. I mean, LinkedIn, think about it. Most of the people that are currently affected by AI are white collar workers. So anything that is design or anything basically is going to be affected closer.
But to be honest, right now it's not an impact, just enables people, right? The biggest one
No,
is
it
just like you get more
enables right now,
productive.
but still, it's going to be. I think,
Oof.
especially then at some point, that more and more people probably going to will start their own business, even though it might be risky. I think that will be the opportunity because if some people are like, hey, I'm so much more efficient by myself as well. I mean, it's more risky, but on the other hand, I think that will have it come a change. Maybe LinkedIn will adjust to that. And Discord, I don't know.
Same the other day, like, right, for example, building an AI agent. So basically an AI agent is when, for example, you can say, hey,
so fucking cool.
Let's say you have 3 workers, like they're all AI. And basically saying a supervisor says, hey, you're the designer, you have to build me this. Then the other one is the developer and the other one is the who writes the documentation. So basically you can have AI delegate jobs and then you get all the results, which is like fascinating. I think we will do another video on that one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
We can talk about Crew AI, Crew.ai, I think it's called, the website. So guys, if you want to hear more about Crew AI, let us please in the comments below and we'll make an episode on that and maybe go in more details. We can also start some tutorials. I think that's Lucas and I want to do that in terms of AI, building all that shit, cool stuff. Because I mean, we're not coders, but we love doing that kind of stuff with no code. And
man, there's so much you can do with
people.
no code, to be honest. Like, it was something that you're like, all right, I'm scared of it. But to be honest, it's like you just have to be like in anything, if you spend enough time, you will get great at it. And the tools are out there. So guys, stay tuned. We'll bring some more stuff.
More content on YouTube.
Of course. Okay, Mark, quick summary. So very fascinating to see that all the big platforms who already have, like, if not billions of users, over 1 billion users, they are now all for optimizing time spent in app. The biggest thing that you can see is actually gaming, because people who game spend a lot of time in their platform. So a great thing is casual games. And that's very fascinating because also you can put the social aspect on it. So for example, you have your groups, whatever, may it be your friends, and then you can see who scored like this, and then you come back to the comparison where everybody wants to be top on the leaderboard. Now that's really, really cool to see it on all the other platforms because we've seen that 10 years ago. And yeah, let's see what gives a great opportunity, of course, for developers, especially on LinkedIn for like casual games, because the 3 ones that are out there are pretty shit. And yeah, Mike, I think that's the summary. What are your thoughts?
I like it. Let's leave it. And
all right, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. Okay, bye. Peace.